Please leave a message after the...
Yeah, sad,
so
man.
wait, hold on. Before we get into that,
Jesus Christ, man. That's the world today.
Listen, just completely subjectively.
Okay.
Oh, objectively.
Right. Pick your words.
I watched the movie.
Right.
There is like some of that feminism stuff in there, where she's like, you know, she's really like playing it up for the camera and everything.
Sure,
but it's not as much as people seem to think it is. Like, it's not like shoved into your face constantly. There's a few scenes.
I agree with you 100%. By the way,
but if this whole conspiracy thing, this whole I don't hate white dudes, whatever she was saying, if she didn't say that, would you be looking out for that in the film?
Great point, Will.
I'll still be looking out for it because of the times, because it's the first female-led Marvel thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did hear about the stuff she was talking about, like before watching it, about how she was saying some stuff against white men and stuff.
We'll hear that in a minute.
And I think that is why a lot of people are lashing out against it, even though they haven't watched it yet.
Sure.
So you guys enjoyed the film, yeah?
Well, I didn't say what I thought about the movie yet. That was
like
you
enjoyed
and that was Tapehead.
It looks like Jesse didn't enjoy it, but for
you
me,
enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I don't think it was like
you're a fucking cock, man.
I'm telling you. Anyway, get into it.
I'll fucking
get into it.
I need a cock button. That didn't sound right at all. I need a soundboard cock button.
Look in the mirror, man.
Man, I'm getting roasted by the guests, man.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
I can edit this. I can tell you, I'm all right. This ain't live. I can edit this away, you know, so it's all good. Captain Marvel was very adequate. But you know what? This movie is a great example of an actor becoming bigger than the movie.
Yes. Yeah.
And the actor outside the movie having an effect on the movie. I've got a 7-minute clip here that is fantastic.
Don't play it, please.
I don't think I'm going to play the whole thing. Because some people have no idea. Some people watch Captain Marvel and they don't understand why people hate Brie Larson. Right now, people hate Brie Larson.
I heard a bit of what she said. I think it was a silly of her to say it because... Or maybe it was a smart thing because people talk about the film. You don't know.
Well, again, I'm debating playing this whole clip. What I'll do is I might play and edit it down so you guys, but I kind of want everyone to know what's going on with Brie Larson in this movie. All right. Yeah. So this is taken from a very popular YouTube channel called I forgot what it's called, Red Letter Media. The guys that took down Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Those two guys, and that's who Tapehead took that from as well, by the way. So I'm gonna try to edit this down, but the reason why I'm not gonna play it because old boy's gonna kill me as well if I play this whole thing. You already roasted me about playing clips for more than 2 minutes.
Well, what's that guy you always play clips from? Franco.
See, he doesn't even listen to the podcast all the time.
Yeah, just watch that guy's YouTube videos, man. That's it.
He stopped recently a little bit after a lot of complaints.
That's like, all together. By one
there's
guy.
There's no point in listening to the podcast. Let's go to that guy's YouTube channel and put the whole podcast.
How come you guys remember that episode?
I don't know. There was one episode. There was a few episodes I listened to, and it was just all of his like YouTube
talking a million miles an hour. Man, Catface like destroyed this guy or whatever. It was so funny. Oh man. Anyway, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Let's talk about someone else we should hate on Brie Larson. Okay, forget about me. Let's move on to
Cheese Larson,
to the blonde white lady.
Cheese Larson.
Let's destroy her.
Oh, okay.
I said Brie.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a listen. Oh, I get the joke.
I thought you meant it.
What did you think of Captain Miscast?
Yeah.
That joke has to have been made by somebody already, right? It's too obvious.
I thought the movie was adequate, and then I watched a clip of Brie Larson speaking, and now I hate the movie. I think we should talk about the elephant in the room, and that's like the controversy, quote unquote, surrounding this movie and Brie Larson's comments at some kind of women in film event, and she got a big old case of foot and mouth syndrome. Well, her comments essentially were, first thing I saw was a black woman was interviewing her, and she says, how important is women in film?
What does it mean to be a woman in film? It means it's really hard.
I remember reading when Captain Marvel was about to come out, or even in production, early stages of it. Brie Larson cast as Captain Marvel, right? And it was a finally moment, you know. The Marvel franchise of 37 movies finally has its first female lead.
Yeah.
But she's white. And so there was that kind of like They deflated everybody. And there is a school of thinking within feminism that if you are a white woman, you can't be a true feminist because you are not doubly oppressed. All I know is that she's white lady. Yeah. And not quite there.
Well, the funny thing about that interview clip is it's a black woman interviewing her. And then Brie Larson's like, it's hard for women in the industry, especially black women.
And if you're a woman of color, then it's really, really hard.
It's like, flip that microphone around. Let the black woman talk about that. Like, is that race-splaining? Could we call it that? I don't know.
Perhaps, Jay, if you're going to get down in the muck. Then you have this like kind of awkward moment, where it's like, we didn't get 100% of what we wanted. And I feel a little like then Brie Larson had the spotlight on her, therefore she starts to do a little virtue signaling, and then she turns on the white guys to show that she is down with the struggle of feminism.
Only 2.5% of those top critics were women of color.
This blonde white woman from Southern California?
Sure. And then it turns into like this rant about film critics.
That 67% of the top critics reviewing the 100 highest grossing movies in 2017 were white males.
Film critics being mostly white men, right? And then she broke down the statistics, right? And then she's like, I don't care what a 40-year-old white guy has to say about a
white dude.
White dude.
She had to make it sound more condescending.
Yeah. I don't care what a 40-year-old white dude has to say about A Wrinkle in Time, because that movie wasn't made for him.
I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him. I want to know what that film meant to women of color, to biracial women, to teen women of color, to teens.
Well, I think there's the kernel of what she was probably trying to say is a positive thing. But I think the way she expressed it was like the worst possible way.
Sure.
I watched a documentary recently called Horror Noir. It's a documentary about the history of African American representation in horror, kind of framed from like Night of the Living Dead to Get Out. And so it's all interviewing, black filmmakers, black actors. And there's one part, it's a really good documentary, but there's one part in particular where they're talking about the movie Candyman, which is one of my favorite horror movies of the 90s. And they bring up things about Candyman that I never would have thought of because they come from, a different life experience, different background, different history. And I was like, that's great. Like, they've made me look at this movie in a way that I wouldn't have otherwise. So more voices is a good thing. That's all she had to say. But by like making it this weird, condescending, snarky, like, I don't need to listen to white dudes. It just comes across so bizarre.
Different movies speak to...
I'll stop it there. There was 2 minutes left, but I'm trying to keep the clip short. Just wanted to give you... This has pissed off a lot of people. You know what I mean? The way she comes across. She's done a lot of more interviews where she's very much against de-integration and how white people have the power and all this stuff. And again, people that have reviewed her movies have been overwhelmingly the white men that she's blaming. So they're like, what are you talking about? You're just trying to get the cred. You're just trying to be cool.
It's like the Ghostbusters syndrome where the film comes out.
But this is the thing. The movie, Captain Marvel, doesn't show that. It's her as a person that they don't like. And her outside activities.
She seemed a little bit self-righteous in her opinions.
Well, people just because she's very SJW, she's trying to fight, but she's a young white. Look, I don't really care about any of that. When I saw the movie, when I saw the trailer, I just said I thought she was miscast. Saw the movie, I thought she was fine. The movie is very average, very okay. It's got those slight, as Stanley said, those slight feminist messages there.
Yeah.
But even when I saw what she was saying on stage, I thought it was. I agreed the truth. What she said is the truth.
Yeah.
But she just comes across. It just seems.
But everyone does it though. It's not just her. Like, it's because it's such a thing of the times we're in right now. You have to be an
so
SJW,
political,
especially if you're in Hollywood.
I know.
You have to be. Some of them
everything's
stay away from
politicized.
it.
Everything's
Exactly.
politicized.
And because she's put in this role as the first Marvel female, she's got to now be like, so by the way, I'm down with the females of color as well, and blah 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 blah.
I feel bad for her because her heart's in the right place, and I honestly don't think.
Is it though? Like, she might be playing it up because of the position she's
But for me, I'm all about the greater good.
In Hollywood, you're either like a SJW or you're either like a Trump supporting.
I know. I know.
That's a smaller percentage.
We don't know. Hart was in the right place. She's got a good point.
She does have a good point.
Mostly white men review films.
Yeah.
But what's the problem? What's the big problem in that? Does that mean that it's is that a negative?
Well, I don't want to get too much into this because what she's doing is pigeonholing people, because then she's kind of saying that, only black people can review black movies, which is preposterous as well.
Yeah, that's where you get to. You get to that sort of debate, which is very difficult.
But then again, it's the same with the Oscars that, they were mostly white old people in there, and then you got to put people in there. So there is truth that people of certain experiences do need to be in there, but that doesn't mean they're a complete authority on it either. But we do need diversity. So
you need diversity.
So, but to be honest with you, anyone that does what she did is going to get called, a faker or just virtue signaling and all that other stuff.
And the Wrinkle Time was shit anyway. Everybody thought it was shit.
Yeah, but she came out and said that I don't need a white man telling me that. I don't know about Wrinkle Time.
Even black people, biracial people, trans people thought it was all shit.
Yeah, but critically, she had a point. The people that were the professionals in the industry that are reviewing it are mostly white male. So yes, generally audiences.
It's their job to tell them. Just because that's the problem. It's like I'm going to review this. If a white guy is going to come in and review it, it's his job to get his point across. So
that's his job.
That's his job. Yeah.
No, that's fine. But he's just saying that if they're all the same person, then you feel like you're gonna get the same.
But all white people are the same though. That's
I know. It's racist in itself. That's what I know.
Well, that's the thing. There needs to be more black people, more. Everything. Yeah. People to come and be more inclusive in films. Yeah, back in the day, it's easier for white people. It's always been easier for white people. But nowadays, it feels like you're going complete opposite, and white people can't. I'm not gonna give that job to that person because he's white. I want to give it to the black guy.
The forced affirmative action, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, you're just doing it just because. We had to talk about. Remember, we spoke about what app was it again? When we spoke about, they said they're going to force the 50% diversity hiring. I think it was Duolingo. Yeah. And then he was upset that so now you're just going to hire women just because you're not even going to check their creds or their anyway. Yeah. It's a ridiculous argument.
Then that argument with the person that's best for the job should get best qualified for the job should get the job. People were saying that's racist, that's sexist.
Yeah,
and it's like,
I know,
but that's a long debate.
Yeah, we're going to move on, but at the end of the day, the movie, just going back to the very beginning, the movie was adequate. Yeah.
Would you recommend? So you enjoyed it?
Yeah.
And you follow? Well, you're difficult to please.
No, it was okay. Yeah. It was okay. It wasn't the best one, and it wasn't the worst. I wasn't bored. It was actually funny. There was so much, especially the aliens, the squirrels. They were ridiculously funny. I was like, really? Are they actually meant to be? This is funny. Some stand up I've seen on Netflix. One of them was just making jokes all the time. I was like, this is fucking hilarious.
Now another question. Do you have to watch it if you're going to watch the new Avengers film?
I would say no, but because she's so pivotal,
it's good to
it might feel like
it would help. Yeah, because she just turns up at the end of the movie. They continue. They basically start the next Avengers movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they kind of start. You know what I'm talking about, standing in it.
Yeah, the cutscene.
She just comes in, and when you watch me, she's going to be there, and you want to know why and why her power and all that stuff. So I just think she's a bit too powerful. But everything wrong with the movie
she's a MacGuffin, isn't it? So it has to be that powerful to beat Thanos, I suppose.
Well, there's anyway. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, the movie's okay. Would I recommend it? Kinda. It's visually nice though.
I would watch it, but I just ain't got enough time to go to cinema.
Yeah,
you know,
we spent way too long on this shit. Oh my god, we need to move on.
The problem with Brie Larson, she ain't got no ass. Did you see it? She literally, they had to hire. Apparently, they hired an ass double for some parts of the film.
Hey Stanley, do you see Simon Rad here?
I know that sounds like Simon Rad, but she literally is flat as a pancake. It's disturbing.
I've seen some memes where they're comparing like Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yes,
to her.
Or
and he's
Shazam
got
guy.
like 10 times. It is a bit odd. It is a bit strange.
No arse.
Let me make these 2 points. Let me make 3 points. Number 1, the Voice of Male podcast does not associate himself with Will.
We did not objectify.
Will Hicks. Number 2. You're wrong in the fact that if you look at her comic book character, she's not a busty woman. She's not like Wonder Woman.
I'm not telling you, the tits are fine. Oh, she's got no ass, man.
No. Even if you're talking about aesthetically anyway, just following your very sexist argument, aesthetically,
it's not sexist, but it's fact.
I doubt that.
Her ass isn't that big in the
comic book superhero heroines.
Yeah,
are always
exactly.
They're not stacked.
No, a lot of them are. But if you look at the comics, I don't know why we're talking about this. Will, you really getting us in trouble here. I didn't
down the rabbit hole, man. I'm sorry, but
she's not one of those types.
I was shocked.
She's not one of those characters. And actually, if you look at the Marvel, if you look at the DC,
you're going deep into
no, you already brought this up.
The creator didn't want to make her have a big ass because her powers make sure that this.
But I'm trying to understand what you're comparing it to. You say
I'm comparing her to a human woman, and she ain't got no ass. Her ass was flat.
We could take the conversation now.
But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong.
A fictional comic character.
I was just surprised. I was very surprised.
To a human woman.
Brie Larson's not fictional, is she?
So you're saying that she didn't deserve the role based on her
for all women out there, let me do this.
Triggered.
Let me just do the triggers, right?
Triggered.
Let me give you a thumbs down.
What's her name?
This is for you.
Red Raven.
Just stop.
Yeah, she'll be pissed off at me, but she's always pissed off at me.
She will be. And I think you really deserve it. You really top time in this time.
No. Yeah, but the thing is that she
stop while you're behind.
It's a fact.
Just stop.
Man.
Just stop.
Just stop. Tonight you go have a look at pictures of her.
Let's move on to the next. Let's move on to the technology segment. Jesus fucking Christ, man!
As a pancake.
Pancake Larson.
I'm gonna get shit for not editing this, but I ain't going to.
No, don't edit nothing, man. Don't send to me.
I can't wait for comments on this one.
Oh, man.
You know what? I think that's episode title right there. Captain Marvel, don't censor me.
No, don't censor me flat as a pancake. Pancake.
You need to shut the fuck
sorry about that.
up.
JJ stressed.
I can't continue.
Just is like, oh man.
I can't continue, man.
Please leave another message at voiceofmail.com.